So this is the Euro Yen analysis for Friday the 8th of December. Now, let's have a look what happened with prices and where they might possibly go. So, started the week with a gap up in the market. Gaps up are usually seen as bullish signs, but we gapped up pretty close to the upper end of the trading range in around this 134. So we gapped up into essential resistance. We are in a trading range on the Euro Yen. Lower end of the trading range been around at 31.70. Upper end of the trading range been around at 134. Now we did gap up, and we did have a couple of tests of the upper end of the trading range at 134. As you can see, the candles that did come into the range were pretty small in size. We did see a subsequent breakdown in prices, had a retracement and a further breakdown. So we've had a high in around the resistance, I had a lower high, and what we have seen is a persistent trend to the downside. Now, this trend, even though it has a good angle to it, the trend did appear somewhat weaker than we would like. The reason I've said it's weaker, even though it is a pretty it's a constant downwards movement, is these bullish candles which have punctuated this trend. So we've had a series of, even though these candles are pretty small, we can see there are cases of bullish candles here on the hourly chart. Even though the overall trend is to the downside, larger candles being bearish, but we do have quite a few bullish candles. Now, if we look at this trend over here to the left of the charts, as we can see, it was a bullish trend, and the majority of the candles are bullish candles. In this case, there were a series of there was a range of candles, bullish and bearish candles. However, it did proceed as we would like. Now, we didn't come down to the weekly pivot in around 32.02, which somewhat surprising, but we did come all the way down to this pretty close to 32.20, but we didn't quite get down to the major level we were looking for, 32.02 or 31.70. However, what we have seen is that prices have come down, formed a bit of a bottom. We've broken back above the 20-period moving average, as we can see here from this breakdown in prices, and when we did post the lower high just here. So we've had a high, we've had a lower high. Since we posted the lower high, we've been respecting the 20-period moving average. Broken, we didn't have a much of a reaction towards our 200-period moving average. Now we've broken back above the 20-period moving average. I don't tend to use the 20-period moving average very much, but it is on the charts for reference purposes, just to see the strength of the trend, essentially. But as we can see here, we've broken above the 200-period moving average. We haven't had a reaction to the 400. We've had a bit of small range-based range trading. Now we have seen some momentum come into the market to break above the 200-period moving average. Now we have come back up again. We appear to have formed a bit of a bull flag here, a small little bull flag. We do appear to be poised for a breakout towards our 33.45. So, from where we are at present, we do look poised for more upside momentum. The overall trend on the euro pound, we have come down into our support 31.70. Now we have retraced all the way back downwards, but we haven't retested the lower end of the trading range in around 31.70. Instead, we do appear to be putting over. We do appear to have found a bottom here, so we do look for upside momentum to continue. So we're looking to see our price react around 33.45. This weekly a pivot. If we do break above 33.45, we look at the target 134. Beyond 134, we look to see our prices react around 134.50. Now, previously we've seen what we did see was prices broke down from 134.37, essentially 134.40, just on this pin bar just here. So we could potentially see prices break down in around at 134.40, 134.50. Breakdown from 134.40, we could potentially have a bit of a double top here, and again we'll be looking to see our price react to the other weekly levels, so 33.45, 32.83, 32, and eventually lower end of trading range in around at 31.70. Overall, we do appear to be heading to the upside. If we do break down from where we are at present, we'll see our prices react towards at 32.83. If we do break down from there, we'll see our most recent lows in around at 32.30, in around at 32.30, to see where we do form a bit of a double bottom and see some buy side momentum coming back into the market to break to test 32.83 and possibly 33.45. If, however, we don't hold the levels and we continue to see momentum to the downside, we'll be looking to target 32.02, 31.70. Now, a breakdown from 31.70, we are looking at 31.20 to the downside before we start to before 30.60 come into focus. But due to the most recent trend being to the upside, I would expect the downside momentum to be limited. As where we are, I could far end of the range possibly being in around 32.02, and again to the upside, we could, as we're pretty close to 34, we could potentially see 34.50 come into focus to the upside. We could, so 34.50 to the upside, depending on market volatility. And if we do break down from where we are, depending on the strength of the catalyst, 132.02, maybe the far end of range, 130.170 at a push. Now, let's just have a look at the daily time frame before yen. On the euro yen, daily time frame is pretty clear. We are in a trading range. So as we can see here, 134, as we've previously mentioned, 131.70, and as you can see, prices have been oscillating between those two areas in around 134 to 134.50 and 131.70. We have seen prices oscillate, and we've been pretty range bound. And again, range markets just simply buying from the lower end of the range and selling from the upper end of the range when given a signal to do so. And yeah, with that said, that should wrap up the euro yen analysis. Thanks for watching.